YouTube video, I'll be reviewing this album, Drogas and Light by Lupe Fiasco, a new album that came out this year, and it's a conscious album with more mainstream appeal, and he has more trap sort of beats to it and drill type production. So if you're into that more mainstream sound, definitely a good album. I definitely enjoyed this album. Not my favourite Lupe album, because I think the Call, Food and Liquor, the Great American Rap album, Tetsuo and Youth, his last album, were amazing albums. Lasers was an enjoyable project. I enjoyed Lasers, but this album to me is the weakest album, slightly. But it starts off with Dopamine intro lit. He raps really good. It's quite a good flow to it. Got that trap sort of beat to it. Very bassy production, which we are used to Lupe on that type of production. He did it on Tetsuo Youth. Good lyrical play as well, where the intro sounds like he's talking about one thing, but when you hear the verses, he's talking about other stuff and social issues, etc. Then we have NGL, the next track, talking about failure, and talks about how Scarface lost at the end, and how choosing the wrong lifestyle and making bad choices will make you a loser at the end and not make you successful. So that's basically what the track's about. Then we have Promise, which is a trap song where he does come across that he wants to sound like a Drake or Future, Migos. He tries to go for that sort of sound. Like a lot of people, if you actually put it on without knowing this is Lupe on the mic, a lot of you won't think this is Lupe Fiasco's track, so it does sound different to what he would usually do. Then we have Made in the USA. He talks about how drugs and guns and all that are made in the USA, and how a lot of the evil stuff that they put in the hood, and it's a very political track, talking about how the system works and how the American politicians and all that put all that stuff in the hood in the first place, which causes the problem. That's that track. Got that trap bass production to it. Then we have Jump, which is another song, good decent song there, where it's just a pop track. Then we have City of the Year. He's talking about the stuff that's going on to Chicago, like murder rates, and it's the City of the Year. A lot of the stuff that goes on in Chicago, he talks about a lot of rappers that are from Chicago, and he's got Rondo on the track, and he's also a street track talking about that really. Then we have High Interlude, which is what it is. Then we have Kill, which is more of a singing song with Victoria Monet and T.Y. the Dollar Sign just singing a lot. Lupe does get a verse in the song. I thought it was pretty good, talking about money and all that. Then we have Law, where he talks about the political system, talks about how the banks are set up, how people are meant to be in debt, and how they lend the money and interest, and how they're getting played by the system sort of thing. That's that track, Law. The production still on the trap. Then we have Pick Up the Phone, which is a love song, where he's just talking about love, where he talks about love and all that, and it's a very commercial track, but he branches out from that sort of production. And this one has like a rockish type feel as well, with the chorus and the like guitar piano type play to it. I noticed on that track. Then we have It's Not By Design. This song's very interesting for me because how he makes this work. It's the chorus is very good, this one. I enjoyed the track. And how he rhymes, and the beat got more of a club feel to it, but also, yeah, very clever track. Then we have Wild Child. again, very unique style production again. Talks about how he was wild growing up and all that. Then we have More Than My Heart is basically a track about loving their mum. Same with like Dear Mama and all them songs. That's practically that track. I think this is a good album. I think this is a solid project. I'll give this album, I'll give it a 7 out of 10. I think it's definitely his weakest project, but it's still a good to decent project, because I was like wrestling with the rating. Should I give it a 6.5? Should I give it a 7? Because I think it's in between that, because it's not his best body of work, but I do think this is an enjoyable project. So, peace.